Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using out here at the barndominium under the enclosed extended roofline parking area. If you guessed, well, what'd you guess that I used? Welcome to Man Time. Well, I had a video a little while back called how to run yellow iron or old yellow iron or something like that. And the last part of it, I was talking about needing to put something here to like do vehicle maintenance. Something that wasn't going to be kicking up a lot of dust, something that I could, work on and not have, rocks in my back and stuff like that. There's, several options, and this is where the Hillbilly really comes out. If you can take a look here and guess at what these are, you know you're a hillbilly. These are stall mats. So these are 4x6, 3/4 inch thick, stain resistant, water resistant, oil resistant, gas resistant, tear resistant, slip resistant. Basically everything you could possibly want. I worked in a hammer forge shop, and these are what we put around the hammers where the employees worked. Between the furnace and the coining press and the press and the hammers. These were the only things that held up. So they're big 4x6 thick, heavy-duty mats. They're slip resistant, and they hold up to extreme amounts of abuse. Extreme amounts of abuse. Those anti-fatigue mats? Those might last about a month, as to where these would last about a year. So there's the math for you. So what I did here, I took my laser leveled this whole thing out, made sure there was a nice decline going down, and it was low. It was low right here. So I'm bringing in fill dirt and leveling it out across here. I'm getting it up to the level of the doors, so you can see here right at the edge. It's right up to the cement there, and so this way you can pull up, and not have this clay tracking in. I was just having a chore of a time sweeping up, as I would, trudge in with clay all in my boots and then having to sweep up. Now I've got a good spot to tamp off my boots before I go in here. And I'm going to run this basically all the way across here. I got 20 sheets of it to start with. They're 4x6. So let's see here. It's going to take 10 of them across all the way here. So yeah, I'm only going to be able to come out 8 foot. So this is basically my first load. One pallet load of 20 gets me this all the way across, and then another pallet load of 20 gets me this, doubled the length of it out here. And I think that's the plan. These things run about $42 so for just under $2,000, I'm going to be able to have this 60 foot by, let's see, 4 times 4 is 16. So yeah, 16 by 60 for about $2,000 that I can lay on, do work on, like put jack stands on, like put a jack on, like everything you would want to do. So I put the clay down, tracked over it with the dozer, and so it's nice and packed down. So that's what I'm going to continue to do across the entire length of this here. Again, 60 foot of it. So yeah, one thing you really have to do is get off of the machine and really check with your feet to see where you're at, and check with that laser level. It was really low right here, so all this is freshly brought in, but it looks like I've got a little bit of hump in the middle, and that might not be too bad. It doesn't feel like I have a hump, although like right here it looks like there's a little bit more of a hump. I think I'm going to come in and just start kind of pulling this back right in here. This all actually looks pretty good. Yeah, this all looks pretty good here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so here's the horse mats. I just got a pallet. They come in a pallet of 20. And they've got two sides. They've actually got a rib side. So you could do rib side up if you're really looking for traction. I don't know why I'm going rib side down. Just kind of feels like they're going to stay more stable in the ground. But anyways, I'm going rib side down. And they are heavy. I'd venture to guess 100 pounds or better. Yeah. Whew. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't really check on the price of like gravel or anything. Because I pretty much knew this is the solution that I wanted. That being a solution that was basically going to be like a hard packed surface. Yeah, and there we go. Okay. Yeah, one thing I'm doing is just kind of double checking, you know, to make sure all the dirt is going to be kind of where I want it to be before I put down one of these things. Again, going over it, you know, with your feet is going to do a lot more than the machine could ever do to feel those high spots. Like right there, right here, and it looked a little low right there anyway, so that should be good. Yeah, it's times like these when it's really nice to have a good, reliable, trusty shovel. You know, you can really dig in and manhandle and not have to worry about it, you know. Video on restoring this old shovel on my channel. If you're wondering where to get a good old shovel looking and working like new again. Oh man, that's nice. well, if anybody was wondering what I meant by leveling, that's using one of these things, Spectra Precision Laser with the tripod and all that. Yeah, we're all pretty much level through here. I just want to make sure I'm about the same in here. Yeah, this needs to come down. Needs to come down right here especially. Alright, it's dead on right here, but that still needs to come down just a hair. And this is just about right up about here. So we're pretty close. I'm just going to drag it back a couple times. So I'm just a little bit high, kind of right in this area, and I want it to just gradually fall off. And that's what it looks like it's doing. So a couple more drags here, a little bit more fill dirt here, and then I think we should be good to go to lay down the rest of these. Alright, well this is looking up onto the work site here, and I've got it pitched in two directions. I've got it pitched, going down away from the building, and then also in the center I've got it high. So it's crowned in the center and basically flowing off of all sides. So in the odd chance you don't get that drip pan just right and all your antifreeze goes, all over this stuff, you can spray it off and also blow it off, right? Like with a blower, broom. The whole point here is to make this easy to clean up, and I want it to stay fairly clean. That's why I went with this material here. Pretty unconventional, I guess you could say, but I mean, it would probably work good, in a garage or anywhere, really, being the anti-slip, anti-trip, and it is rubber, so it does give you some anti-fatigue. Not so much anti-trip, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm remembering back now when I worked at the Ford shop, this is how we did it, right? We did it with the flat side up, and it does actually provide some anti-fatigue. Now, the clay that I'm laying down here is still fairly wet, so it is not, the mats are a little bit bumpy, where, the first batch that I laid down here, the sandy clay was dry, and now this stuff is a little bit more wet that I'm bringing up here, so it's a little bit bumpy, and you're only getting, again, about 90% of the way with the machine. The rest of the way I'm going over it with my feet and walking on it and just making sure it's kind of where I want it. But I think I'm ready to lay down the rest of the mats here. Let's do that. Well, that is 20 stall mats, 4x6s, laid out kind of exactly where I wanted them, right in front of this door here, and then up to beyond halfway here with that very last one. But you can see there, so this is 20 by 60 enclosed overhead, and 4 of these, from the door out to here is 16 foot. It's amazing how small 16 foot looks, for this whole thing. So I mean, that's $1,000 worth of stall mats getting me about halfway there. So just keep that in mind. I guess if you're looking for a cheap and easy way to have your undercover area, if you aren't going to spend the money to have it concreted, you definitely don't want to go with asphalt or crushed rock or gravel or anything like that that's going to be dusting up and stuff while you're trying to work on a vehicle. I think this is going to work out perfect. So there you go. That's my solution to a barn dominium undercover parking area that can also double as a workshop outside, where you're not going to have to worry about getting your concrete messed up, and you're not going to have to worry about dust coming up off of it. One other thing you can do there is, hose it down right before you work on a vehicle so it's not dusting up. But that's going to do it for today on Man Time. Get out there, have you some man time too.